Thank you. Thank you very much for joining me again this week. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, you are welcome. My name is Peterkin Ofori. I'm a lawyer, a mental health practitioner, and a relationship expert. As you may know, I have a special interest in domestic violence, and I think a lot more men are needed in this area because it's such a social cancer that need treating and urgently. Um, for those of you that has followed the ongoing discussion the last 4 weeks, a lot of questions keep coming to me as to the topic that we need. They want me to address, and this week I have selected the question relating to how an individual can identify that a man that they have met or a woman they have met is going to be abusive towards them in the future. How do they identify such a person? I think it's very interesting area for us, especially for young girls that are entering into new relationship, or if you are already in a relationship that is relatively new and you are thinking that you are going to develop it into a long-term relationship. I think this is very important area for you to understand. So I'm going to dwell straight into the topic, and it's important that for any one of you to understand this particular topic, you need to have listened or understand how victims of domestic violence are prepared, because it's so important in that area. If you understand how they prepared and you understand the mindset of the abusers, you will be able to now pick up the traits that we are going to talk about. This topic we can talk all day, but I've only got 15 minutes, so I'm going to try and do it for that 15 minutes. So there are three areas that we are going to talk about. One of the area of where you can identify a man or a woman who is going to abuse you in future is at the commencement of the relationship. You look at how intelligent they are emotionally. We call it emotional intelligence, and I will come to that and explain it. Another thing that you need to look out for is how controlling they are. And the third one that I'm going to address today is their relationship with your friends at the commencement of the relationship. These are the three things. There are many other that we can talk about, but I think these three will encapsulate a lot of the behavior traits of people that are going to be abusive in a relationship. So without much ado, let me first talk about how victims prepare or how abusers prepare their victims. We've talked about how they would treat them so well. They are very special at the commencement of the relationship, and then it move on to the abuse starting, and they blaming them for getting them angry to the point where they will now begin to reward them to be when they abuse, to the point where they don't reward them anymore but they continue to abuse them. The preparatory stage is where it is important that if you want to find out if your partner is going to be abusive, that is where the person, need to open your eye, and you need to identify their emotional intelligence, how they behave, how intelligent they are emotionally, because it's one of the major clues. These people, right, when I first stopped mentioning emotional intelligence, I had a lot of questions that were asking what is emotional intelligence. And the best way to describe emotional intelligence is having a 3-year-old child who throw tantrums. So when you take a ball from a 3-year-old, when you take their toy away from them, when they want you to buy them something that you have said no, the way they react. They do so because emotionally they are not intelligent enough to vary their emotions, to understand that no means no, and to understand that when something is removed from them, it is for a reason. So they throw tantrums, they kick, they hit, and do all sorts of silly things. That is what somebody who lacks emotion, an adult who lacks emotion, behaves. The only difference is that because they are a bit older, they don't behave in the way that a 3-year-old would, but the behavior element, the context of the behavior is going to be the same, right? So if you want to identify whether these people lack emotional intelligence, one of the first things you need to look out for is when they get angry. And remember, when you start a relationship, they are very nice to you. So the likelihood of them getting angry at you or with you is quite low. But they do get angry with others. If somebody offends them, it is important that as you stay there, you watch how they react to that person. That will give you a clue. Because what you've got to remember is, as the relationship develops, as the person gets used to you, they will be getting angry. And they will be getting angry at you. And if you saw how they reacted to the person that they got angry at, that is the same way they are going to treat you when they get used to it, to you, and they are going to get angry. So it's important that you watch that. Another important thing to look out for is if they had been in a relationship before, what they say about their previous partners. A lot of people, when we go into a relationship, we think we are so special, especially at the beginning of the relationship. When the abuser is treating you so nicely that you think it will never get to your turn. It will. So it's important that you listen to this person and how they talk about their previous relationship. And a lot of the time, from experience, they give themselves away. They will come because they are treating you so nice, they can even bring the topic up. That, oh, you remember my ex-girlfriend or my ex-boyfriend? They were talking, they actually accused me of abusing them, of hitting them. Can we imagine that? What a liar. You hear them telling you. If you hear that word of somebody having accused them and they telling you that they've been accused of domestic violence, it's a big clue. It is true. Okay? And, more often than not, it is true. So it is very important that you take that as a guide. Don't go sitting there and thinking that you are going to be so special that you will never experience their emotional instability and lack of intelligence. When it gets to your turn, you will get the same treatment. Okay? These people have got the same script. The cast is different. And when it gets to your point, your turn to be the cast, you will be treated the same way. So it's very important that at the nice stage, when they are treating you very well, you don't lose sight of the evidence that they may treat you very poorly when they get used to it. Those signs will be there. Another thing we want to talk about is their control. These people can't help it. Anyone that is going to abuse you will start controlling you right from the onset. but they do it in a very subtle way that you probably will never find out. Okay, so it's important to look at how they try to control you. One of the traits that they can never do away with is, where are you? When you are not in their presence, the first time they call you, a lot of the time, it's either their first, second, or at most third question, where are you? They want to know where you are. They also want to know who you are with. It's almost consistently you will get this answer. You will get this question and you have to answer it. It's one of the signs of control, that you are going to be controlled in that relationship. Where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? 3 of these questions almost certainly you will get in almost every conversation that you have. And when you come home, what were you doing? What did you do? It's a nice question when they are being asked. But if it is consistently being related to almost everything you do, it's a good clue to have. Who are you talking to? It's all control. Who are you talking to? It's like you have to answer to them who you are talking to. Along the line, you see them giving you list of things that they don't like. It's so rampant. Almost every experience that I've had with victims of domestic abuse, these things are there. Oh, he doesn't like this, so they will give you a list. And what you note, if you open your eye, you will see that the list are list of things that you liked or you've always liked before they came into your life. These are the things that they will say they don't like, but they will do it in a very beautiful way that you probably won't pick it. So you will come home and you call your best friend to talk to, and they will tell you, when you really hear, I want us to be having time together. I want to spend time with you. So don't be on the phone talking to your friends. You would think, oh, my boyfriend wants to spend time with me. I'm not going to call my best friend. They will begin to cut you off slowly. And everything that you like to do will be something that they don't like. And they will be, along the line, they will be chipping your confidence away. It's one of the things that they need to do to take control. So that they will never be happy for you. So the things that make you so happy that you want to share your joy with, they will look lukewarm. They're not going to share that joy with you. They will be there, but they are not as stuck as you are. And they will be passing subtle comments like, why are you behaving like that? It's not, they're not sharing your joy. But when it is their turn, they want you to share the joy with them. So they become they're a lot more self-centered anyway. So it's always about them. It's never about you. Right? So you need to look at it that everything that they want for them to be happy is about them. And you are almost playing catch up, and it's all about their emotion, not yours. When you begin to see the signs, you got to know that when this thing develops, it's going to get difficult. It's about them, not about you. Never happy for you. The third thing that I want to talk about, like I said, there are so many things where we can talk about, but these are the traits. The relationship that they will form with your friends and close people. At the beginning of the relationship, these people tend to be the best friends that your friends and close family are going to have. They'll be so nice to them, in fact, nicer than they are to you, although at that time they'll be treating you very nice. What they are doing is preparing them to not believe you when they start abusing you. When you go to them, And also, what they are going to be doing is to prevent you from going to them, because they present as so nice, and you like your family or friend thinking that your boyfriend or your husband is so nice. When they hit you for the first time, you are not going to go to these people to go and tell them that this person that is so nice is not as nice. And what they would have done to you is that they would have rewarded you with all love and reassurance. So you are not even going to go back to them. But even if you do, because they are so nice to them, they are going to now begin to question you. You have all this doubt in your mind. And by that time, your confidence is chipped away. So you got to watch how they relate to your family, recruiting them onto his side. And a time will come, they will be the ones, or that person will be the one talking to your best friends and your close family more than you do. Because the time that you need to be talking to them, he doesn't want you to, he doesn't like that, because you are together. So he talks to them more. When you see that happening, what you must understand is that the person is preparing your close people not to believe you, and is also trying to get you not to even talk to them as often as they do. So he does the talking and gives you feedback. You think, oh, my husband, my boyfriend is so close to my best friends and my family, that is okay. No, it's not. So always, the traits are many, but these ones, they can hardly hide. I wish you all the best. Keep the questions coming, and I'll try and answer as much as I can. Thank you. Thank you.